Carla Martinez.
Ghosts. One of my greatest fears in this world. But what makes them so scary? Their looks, abilities, or the fact that multiple games and shows trying to catch ghosts, which failed miserably and were so obviously staged,
Can you tell me your name?
My name is Jeff.
are made about them. Some more horrifying than others. One of these games is none other than Phasmophobia. Possibly the scariest.
Shit! Fuck me!
Goofiest.
One right on top of me. Of course, it's
And well-made ghost hunting games ever made. Phasmophobia revolves around a team of expert ghost hunters. Notice the quotations on the word experts. Collecting evidence to then find a specific ghost type. There's only a couple of catches. First off, if the people on your team are as useless as a blowtorch on a cockroach, you are never finding that ghost type. And secondly, the ghost can hear all of your in-game actions.
Carla Straffin. What's your OnlyFans?
If you try and collect evidence, depending on which ghost you get, you are dead. Finally, the ghost will enter periods in which it hunts, meaning that the ghost will chase you down and kill you if you are caught, which basically means you're dead. This is just one of the many ways in which Phasmophobia scares you. And if you're scared of ghosts, like me, amplifies this fear. I've created 4 chapters explaining why gamers such as yourself would find Phasmophobia scary. The first type of way Phasmophobia builds up fear is through the use of the game mechanics that make this game unique, with a variety of equipment we can use to get evidence to put into our journals. Most of this equipment we have to buy in the store so that we have it within the caravan for us to use. Some of this equipment includes a UV flashlight to see handprints of the ghost on a door, window, or your teammate's private area, a regular flashlight to help you see in the darkness and keep your sanity up, an EMF reader, which, depending on the reading you get, the ghost has done something mischievous. You also have a spirit box, which allows you to communicate directly with the ghost. And if you're lucky, you might get a response out of the ghost, if you ask the right question, of course. Such as, give me a sign you are here, or are you in this room? Or you could alternatively ask if the ghost is a beautiful lady with a luxury and busty body, to which in my circumstances always works, as the ghost cannot resist my riz and comes to get me immediately. A thermometer to measure the temperature of the room the ghost is in, and if you get a freezing temperature when it goes below 0 degrees Celsius or 32 Fahrenheit, which is the average temperature on a UK day, can help towards finding out the correct ghost type. And finally, a dots projector, which allows you to see the ghost when they move through these little green dots. Now, this is just some of the equipment you would get in the van. There are, of course, other pieces of equipment that will aid you and your team in finding this ghost, such as a video camera for finding ghost orbs, which play a part in the evidence in the journal for finding the ghost type, and a crucifix. Not the one from Doom Eternal though. This crucifix makes a ghost hunt become null when the crucifix is in the room, sacrificing its protection for your team not being obliterated by one ghost. This is extremely helpful when your whole team needs to collect evidence without running the risk of one of your teammates that has found a piece of evidence dying because he thought it was funny to mess about during a hunt. The reason why the equipment scares a player is because when we are getting a reading off of a thermometer or an EMF reader, we automatically know that we are dealing with a ghost, and at any point it can hunt and kill us. And because hearing a ghost voice through a spirit box is a bit of a jump scare, because we wouldn't have expected it. And on an EMF reader, it's the loud noise which scares our prehistoric minds, because loud sound equals scary. The equipment helps us collect evidence for finding a specific ghost type, which, when the game ends, gives us a paycheck to get more equipment of higher tiers, with tier 3 equipment being the best. We also have stuff like a Ouija board that can help us learn information about the ghost, but a lot of the time it's pretty useless information, or the team will just use it to take the
Do you like Taylor Swift?
fuck no, babe.
Sometimes, when trying to collect the evidence, you get it right away, and other times it takes an ant's lifetime to find out what it is, especially on harder difficulties, when you are only given 1 or 2 pieces of information. And once we have collected this evidence, we can deduce what type of ghost it is. In the game lobby, we can meet our new teammates in an intimate environment with a somewhat nice atmosphere if your teammates aren't French, where you can learn something about them and let that help you in investigating, as you can talk to them on a more human level instead of some random playing a game with you. Then we ready up and are in the van, and this atmosphere changes from a warm and intimate to a professional and in a way emotionless, because you are here for a job, not a club where you meet different people. Outside the van is then another shift in atmosphere, as we get a more dooming and overbearing atmosphere, like we are walking towards our grave, with thunder, lightning, rain, and sometimes nothing. Without explicitly saying what we are walking into, we get the feeling from the changing environments from lobby to van to outside. Then finally, the house and the ghost room, where we hear nothing. The silence is deafening, with no other sounds in the room apart from maybe our teammates discussing a plan of action. The reason this atmosphere is scary is because we as humans are used to noise being around us, as this means we can deduce our surroundings from these sounds. But with no sound, we are unable to deduce our surroundings and are therefore fearful of what might lurk in the surroundings. Phasmophobia works off of this primal fear to build tension or fear and a sense of as that one guy said in that one movie, it's quiet, too quiet. Means that something is off, and in this case, the thing that's off is the presence of a ghost, that we are unaware of what type it is, which is the whole point of our job, to find out what ghost type we are working with. The evidence we collect in the house or location will always be by process of elimination until we get the correct one. Some of these ghost types will share the same evidence, so then we have to look out for other clues on what the ghost type might be, according to the journal we are given in the game, which allows us to check the information on the ghosts, equipment and more, and allows us to select the ghost type on what we think it might be. There are 24 ghost types as of the new update, in which we can choose from, all varying from each other. I bring it upon myself to summarise these ghost types for you lot, so here they are. Banshee are basically stalkers that will pick one target and kill it. Demon are masochists, they kill for fun. Gyorio can only be seen through a camera or dots projector, like a Viju. Hantu is British, as it only attacks in cold weather, usually over a recently bought kebab from Bossman down the road. It, like the average Brit, hates hot weather as well. Jin is a territorial and really fast, like the guy Ryan Gosling played in that one film where he drives cars, so hide when it hunts. Mare likes the darkness and when the lights are turned off in the location. Myling are very vocal ghosts, like your average Taylor Swift fan. Obake are skinwalkers, shapeshifters, and can take on many forms to attract their prey. Oni are cousins to the demon and are stronger than them, and get aroused at human activity in this area. Onryo is like that one enemy in God of War Ragnarok. That's the best I could explain it as. Phantom possesses a living and can be summoned via a Ouija board. Poltergeist is a loud ghost, so listen out for it. It can throw objects around. Raiju uses electricity to kill its victims with an epileptic seizure. Revenant is also violent and can finesse your team by making you think it's slow. Shade is shy. Spirit is just a chill guy. The twins are one of the most notorious criminals in all of East London. Wraith can go through walls and are scared of salt like a slug. Yokai are attracted to human voices, yet get annoyed when you start talking to them. Just look at the Kardashians family, for example. Yurei come to the physical world for revenge, aka John Wick after that guy killed his dog. The Mimic does what its name suggests. Moroi lowers your sanity at a faster rate. Deogen is Usain Bolt when catching someone who's across the map. Faye does all of the other ghost activities when someone stays in the room with it. All of these ghosts are able to be encountered as you keep playing, but getting the evidence required for them is where the fear comes. This is because when trying to get evidence based on the ghost, it may become extremely hard or irritating to do, such as having the shade, where it may take up to 30 to 40 minutes to get a piece of evidence because it is too shy to flip and show up. It took me an hour to get the final piece of evidence for a ghost, only for it to be wrong in the end. Or having the demon as a ghost, and upon entering the location, you get absolutely bummed by it, killing your whole team in less than a minute. This is how Phasmophobia uses these ghost types to scare us as a player. You might scream, you might cry, and in some rare cases, pee your pants. Finally, the reason why Phasmophobia is so scary is because this game works off of the fear of the unknown of where the ghost is, the type of ghost, what evidence we might get, when the ghost hunts, the list goes on. This is how Phasmophobia scares us, and sometimes we get scared by our own teammates in some cases. It works off of our primal fear of the unknown, which is why films like The Thing are scary, as when you watch it in real time, you never know who the thing is or when it will strike. You could just watch it on YouTube and skip to the part where they reveal the culprit, but where's the fun in that? Only a coward would do that. Phasmophobia does this amazingly, as depending on the map, we are unsure of where the ghost is, such as the map with the lighthouse, where there are so many levels and rooms in which the ghost could be, or in the school, which could literally be in any room, and trying to find this room in which it's in is a pain in the arse. Trust me. But we cannot forget that throughout these maps, darkness swallows the whole map, unless you turn on the breaker, in which you can turn on the lights. But not all of them, because that will break the breaker. Darkness plays a massive role in this fear, as it hides the ghost and without a flashlight drains your sanity. Your sanity basically controls the rate at which paranormal activities happen. With lower sanity, these activities happen more often. The fear of the unknown is used in various types of games, with each one being slightly different from the other, with games such as Dead Space, Silent Hill, Subnautica, and Outlast, differing in the way they use these, such as Outlast having a buff P. Diddy chase you non-stop until you know what's you, and Subnautica using the sandy dunes behind the Aurora to hide the tack of a Reaper alive. However, I think Phasmophobia does this the best, because if you are new to the game, you can never know when a ghost is going to hunt until you hear your heartbeat and see your flashlight flickering. The only drawback of using this type of horror to scare the audience is that the more you play, the less effective it becomes, as people get used to seeing the jump scares or just get less scared of the threat of the ghost when it hunts. Phasmophobia is a game I've come to love from watching various YouTubers playing it whilst I was an early teen, and now playing it myself, love finding and pissing off the ghost with outrageous questions, which causes it to hunt when I ask the ghost how many fingers he can stick up his bum.
Josephine, how many fingers can you stick up your bum?
I put a whole bag of jelly beans up my ass.
I love this game, especially when playing with your friends, because you can mess about with them whilst enjoying the game. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, as it helps me out massively. Thank you.